Hey everybody, welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda and I'm here with my brother Eric.
What's up everybody? We are here making our way through season 8 of Friends. We are now up to the one where Chandler takes a bath, which is episode 13, and then episode 14, the one with the secret closet. These are some interesting. I mean, listen, we are well into at this point Joey and Rachel territory, and that's really what the story's all about.
That is really what this is all about. I feel like they just kind of at this point are almost using Rachel's pregnancy as like a plot device to like tease out this whole situation between Joey and Rachel. Like, I feel like that almost has taken precedence over the pregnancy, which is interesting. I don't know.
It absolutely has. Like, that is the most pressing story that we have right now, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know it's not even like the full version, right? Everybody who's seen Friends knows that they like double back down to this storyline again in the future. But we kind of get what seems like a culminating moment in this one. Well, not this first one, but the second one today.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and Eric, Chandler actually has this line in the second one that I just want to call out right now that I'm like, wow, that's kind of what we're all thinking. He says, so how's the hideously inappropriate crush on Rachel going?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if they just kind of work that line in because everyone's like, what is happening? What is going on? And I don't know. I know that the ratings for the last two were actually really high, like as far as ratings go for Friends episodes.
The last one was pretty decent. It was an 8.4. The one before before that was a 7.8. And these ones that have like we were talking about it seems like the ones that have these guest stars sometimes that we don't like Mona comes in and her episodes are not exactly doing as well. That was similar to Emily and similar to Tag. I feel like ratings when those people are in, like other love interests, they just seem to fall flat.
Right, but so this episode though where Joey and Rachel went on the date, that was the higher rated.
Yes.
And we were, kind of talking about how maybe that was a little bit surprising because we know that things maybe aren't so like people aren't necessarily a fan of the direction that this takes. And I think I'm interested to see how these are rated because I think while people accepted the whole date scenario and it's like, okay, let's just sort of get that out of the way. Then we continue down this path. And I don't know really at this point how big of a fan people are going to be of like this evolving plot line and the direction that we're going here.
The thing is, I don't know. At this point, it's still not really that big a deal because this is all in Joey's head. It's all in Joey's head in the same way that in the early season of Friends, like Ross and Rachel was just a figment of Ross's imagination. And then it was in Rachel's head, but not Ross's. And it's one of those things where this is one person seeing it this way. The other, like Rachel is really not interested in this.
No.
Well, or at least she doesn't seem to be.
Right. Well, she just is clueless to it, right? Just as they all were as they're starting to find out. But it's like, the fact that this is the central theme of these two episodes, don't know how strong of a landing that's gonna be with the audience.
Well, it's been a central theme for 4. We're gonna get 2 more today, and it's gonna keep going after these 2. So we'll see. We'll have to see how the ratings play themselves out through this first wave.
Yeah, because as we know, this season ends with Rachel having the babies. So that's kind of where it all really comes to a head, right? So, yeah, we will see how that rolls out. And just as a reminder of where we left things off last week, we had Mona wanting to send out a holiday card with Ross. Yikes. Chandler, yes,
Come on,
yeah,
Mona.
love the holiday card moment. Oh, Mona. Yeah. Chandler avoiding telling his boss that Monica doesn't want to spend time with him. Rachel was dealing with a spike in her pregnancy hormones. Phoebe gifted Monica and Chandler a Ms. Pac-Man as a belated wedding gift. Ross was asked to teach an advanced course, but he was having a hard time getting there on time. And finally, Joey took Rachel out on a date after Rachel was confessing that she misses dating. So, yeah, that's all kind of working then into where we're at with these episodes. And again, it's really centered around Joey having feelings for Rachel and kind of working through all that and trying to really, I would say, suppress it too. So,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so that's where we're at, Ben. And if you are listening in on this, you like what we're doing, please throw us a 5-star rating. That really helps us get noticed. That helps other people find us. So we truly appreciate you taking the time to do that. It makes a big difference. And thanks for listening. So, Eric, we're kicking things off with episode 13, right?
We are. We're going to start with season 8, episode 13, the one where Chandler takes a bath, and our 3 general storylines in this one are wait, hold on. Scrolling. There it is. There's my information. I was all over the place. We have the Chandler bath situation where Chandler has said that he doesn't like baths, but then Monica actually makes a very nice bath for Chandler, and he is starting to realize that he might actually be a bath person. We have Ross and Rachel determining that they don't want to know the sex of the baby, and we also get a look at their desires to attempt to name the baby. And we have Joey confessing to both Chandler and Monica separately that he has feelings for Rachel, even though he doesn't actually say it out loud. Yeah. He does give that inkling of a hint. And we will end with that part since it kind of connects to the very next episode. So let's start with Ross and Rachel and their, adventure into attempting to name a baby and figure out the sex of the baby, which they both definitely want to keep secret. I will just start with saying the name throwing back and forth on the couch in Central Perk section of this story is awesome.
Sandrine. It sounds like an industrial solvent.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel starts with rain. I mean, what are we really talking about here, Rachel?
Yeah. Well, I like Phoebe's reaction to that, though, that she actually knew someone by that name and she sold her a grass skirt once. Yeah, I mean, that fits. I think that this makes sense. The names that they choose are very Rachel and very Ross, so I like it.
Well, I mean, Ross gives, what is it, Darwin? I mean, come on, Ross. Yes. That was not happening. I'll say this, though. Of all the names that were thrown out there, okay, Ross suggesting Thatcher is something I thought Rachel would get on board with.
I feel like Thatcher should have worked for both of them. I think it just got to a point where they were both just rejecting whatever the other person wanted. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah. And I also appreciated Phoebe's feedback. Vito is starting to sound really good. And you know what? Vito wouldn't be a bad name.
No, neither one of them listened to those rules. They were only supposed to get 3 vetoes.
No. Yeah, this wasn't a thing. So, yeah, I appreciated this too. Although, Eric, I must say, my favorite moment of all the names going back and forth is always in the doctor's office where she comes in and is like, I know it's really not my place, but please don't name your child Phoebe.
Listen.
That line is great.
We have a golden retriever dog, and we named it Phoebe. Straight up after
As
Friends. The amount of times I call her Phoebe because of this is unending. It's just, it is one of my favorite sequences when it's like Phoebe or Phoebe. Like, I mean, I don't know why. It's such a simple, like, silly thing, but I do like it, and I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I like that.
I appreciated that. The doctor's like, you know what? I'm going to jump in here.
Yes. Please don't do that. Right. That seems like it's not my place. You do whatever you want, but don't do that.
Don't do that.
I also really like, as Ross has suggested, the name Ruth. And then,
yes,
Rachel, in what appears to be genuine honesty, comes in with the, like, you know what? I think I'm actually getting behind Ruth. Like, this seems like okay. And Ross thinks it's a play, like thinks it's a move,
right,
to like gain favor. And so he starts saying, like, you looked at the paper, so you know it's a boy, so you're going to tell me that you think it's Ruth, like that you like Ruth only for me to then like come up with something later. That's it. Ruth is off the table. Like,
or you knew that I would figure it out. And so it's like, you know what the sad thing is that's totally something that Rachel would do. So I feel like that makes sense.
We've learned that Rachel is the least trustworthy of the friends. Yes. So this does seem in her wheelhouse. It actually
does track.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I think that Rachel would like double fake it out? Like, oh, it's a girl. So let me say I like this name so I don't like, and then I think Ross will figure out my play, and so then I will end up getting the name that I want. And she's like, yeah, but you do like the name Ruth. Not like this. Like, I mean... No. Yeah.
Yeah. Although, and also... just because there's a Baby Ruth candy bar, when she says Baby Ruth, that's like, oh, forget it. Like, come on, guys. I think that's a cute name still. Let's roll with Ruth.
Listen, it's one of those things where I do like just the bounce backiness of Ross and Rachel. It just seems very natural. It's always funny. I think it's the best version of both of them when they do these things.
Bounce backiness. I like that.
You like that? I don't know how else to phrase that. Like, when they're just rapid fire hitting each other with these things, and like Ross is losing his mind and Rachel is like playing into the whole thing. They're just going back and forth with it. And it is my favorite version of both of them. So,
yeah. And I agree that then, I like that at the end of this whole sequence, we find out, well, Ross confesses that he went back to the doctor's office. He found out it really is a girl because he's convinced Rachel already knows. He tells her. No, this is the first time that she's finding out, but she's obviously just excited to know at this point. And yay, so now we know that they're having a girl, although it is still undecided what the name is. So we never really nailed that down. And we don't until the very end of this season, right?
No, they never actually nail that down until the baby has already been born.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's move on to the Chandler and his bath, right? I think all in all, this storyline is the one that like it lifts right out. Like, this is not really anything that presses anything. This doesn't roll into anything in the future, But it
also ties the whole room together at the same time, right?
At the very end of this episode, it is the thing that it is the environment that makes the rest of it all super funny. And so, for the most part, the idea that Chandler doesn't like bats, and he says, he's like, you're just sitting in there stewing in your own filth. And Monica comes back with, how dirty do you think I am? I'm going to tell you what.
I know.
I'm kind of on board with Chandler. Like, I'm not a bath person. I'm not sitting there just laying in water that's like getting colder the whole time. Like, I don't know.
I love a bath. I take baths regularly. love them, big fan. You should start doing it. I don't know. I also, sometimes I'm just cold and I just want to take a hot bath. That's just, I don't know.
I don't know. Shower seems to be pretty hot.
Eric's looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm just, listen,
like you're ever just
I'm on board with Chandler.
Freezing. I just feel like...
Maybe I just don't have all the appropriate bath supplies or whatever. But yeah, I'm down. I hear Chandler saying stewing in your own filth. I'm like, yeah, man, I hear you, man.
But really, though, how dirty do you get?
It's just something, I don't know. It's like,
what?
Yeah, I don't know.
So relaxing, so comfortable. You just get submerged. I'm all about it. And I went through a long period because I didn't have a bath for a long time that it's like you could really get submerged in. But once you have it, you don't want to go back. I'm telling you.
I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it. But right now, I totally understand the idea of Chandler then, what is it? Attempting to make his own bath and doing it all wrong. And it's
this is not complicated, Chandler. Come on.
Well, whatever it was, he didn't do it right. And you know what? I understand. Like, there's probably something to that. Like, I'm sure the way that Monica made the bath was, very enjoyable and unbelievable, and the bath salts and the whatever, or well, I don't know, that apparently they were using seemed to be, functional.
Well,
I don't know.
But it's only with
I don't know what I'm talking about here.
It's only with this close-knit group of friends, though, that you would find them all in the bathroom at the end, right?
I mean, that is just a crazy setting. The irony is I do understand why Ross and Rachel would barge in at the end. I don't really understand the whole idea of Phoebe and Joey just kind of walking in there at the end and having a conversation about it.
But it doesn't seem that far-fetched either, It's kind of like it's easily acceptable. There's really no reason. I mean, but we do have, because there is the crossover between the different plot lines, because we have the moment in the bathroom where then Monica and Chandler start talking about these weird conversations with Joey, right? And it's like, so I don't know if we just want to go into that storyline, because really
we might as well.
The bath is a plot device, right? Just to like really have these conversations between them. And Joey is trying to convince himself that he doesn't have feelings for Rachel. And I think he's so used to getting advice from his friends. Yeah, it's a situation.
So what is it? He goes to Chandler first, and he brings up the idea that, I do like how Chandler's like, so should we get is this like a beer or is it like a pizza? And he's like, no, neither. And he's like, oh my God, like what's going on?
Oh my God, no food? Yeah, what is happening? Are you dying? Like what's going on?
And so he starts just being unable to get his words out. Trying to explain that, it was you and Monica, you were in London, there were the rules, and this is kind of like all he got out, like the idea that there are rules, and you understood that there was Chandler and Monica, but you guys were in London. It's like, so when you and Monica were in London, like you guys were in like the same place. He's like, yes, when Monica and I were in London, we were in the same place. It's like, okay,
it's like that moment where you want to talk about something, but you're really not ready to talk about it, and Joey's trying to work through all that in real time. I feel like it's somewhat relatable. It's like you're not really ready to share something, but you also like just need to get it out. We know at this point it's inevitable that it's either just going to get figured out or he's just going to just come out and say it, and both things kind of happen.
And so we get the conversation with Monica as well, although we don't see this. We just hear Monica's breakdown of this conversation with Chandler while he's taking his weird bath. And the key phrasing that Monica brought to the table was looking at somebody differently. So we have Chandler and Monica in London looking at somebody differently, and there's rules. And Monica does, to her credit, like, break down the whole conversation. She just does it wrong. Like, she has it right, but Joey stopped talking, apparently, when Phoebe walked into the room. And so she added that as an extra layer that did not need to be added. So we have
just classic Monica with once she assumes it's Phoebe, just literally running right to Phoebe. And
this is not the first time we've seen this.
Monica, my God, yes. What the heck? And, I know. What was the other one recently?
The other one was also with Phoebe, where her boyfriend was going to ask her to move in with her.
Oh yes, with Gary.
Yeah, right. Gary just was like, "Hey, just don't tell her anything yet. Like, I'm still trying to figure it all out." She's like, "Oh, don't worry. Like, I'm lock it up." 4 seconds later,
yes,
Gary's going to ask you to move in with you.
So is it Rachel that's the least trustworthy, or is Monica like really pretty close there? Because to have someone just outright tell you, please keep this a secret no matter what you do, and 2 seconds later, Monica she just can't handle keeping it a secret. I don't know. Maybe it's Monica, less lies and more about secret keeping.
Yeah, Monica is the worst secret keeper. Although maybe Chandler's the worst secret keeper, because we already know that Joey already knows everything about Chandler anyway. Like, listen, I think they're all bad at that.
I was going to say, it's almost as though they don't really consider it like sharing a secret if it's amongst their like friend group, which is not right. But I like,
don't tell anybody except for the people in this group. Then you can tell them.
Which, yeah, they're like the only people that
they
talk to.
If everybody's got that policy, then so be it.
I guess so.
But Rachel is the least trustworthy because she just lies.
Rachel is, I mean, she's the prankster. She will, I guess she does tell some fibs.
Yes. But. Listen, the whole episode of Backpacking Through Europe was based on the idea that nobody else knew, but Rachel knew, and she was going to try to pin the whole thing on Ross, even though everybody knew the story, because Ken Adams, Joey, told the story.
I blame this really on Rachel's sisters when it comes down to it. I think this is because of her upbringing with those crazy sisters and what she had to deal with. So I'm just saying. I think Rachel gets a little bit of a pass there. It's not malicious, but yeah, she might bend the truth to suit her needs.
Sure.
You do have that, yes.
Yeah. Like all the stuff from Pottery Barn.
Okay, yeah, that's fair too. That was a slight bending of the truth. Yeah, you can really name a lot of storylines where Rachel does this. I do understand where that call on Rachel's character comes into play. That does make sense. I feel like Rachel, you are the least trustworthy. Really, when you think about it, who else? Like, maybe I think we talked about how maybe Phoebe could come into play here too, but
I don't know about that. I feel like Phoebe will just tell you and doesn't care.
Yeah, there is that too, right? She'll just outright just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And just tell you what's up.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that she's the most trustworthy in that regard either, because you might trust her with something specific and she will not follow through on it. That's what I'm saying. But it's a different type of trust at that point.
Yes, right.
That being said, we have this sequence here where they have all figured out, or by they all, I guess I mean Chandler and Monica have figured out that Joey has a crush on Phoebe. And so, as you were saying, Monica has rushed to Phoebe to tell her all of this information so that, in her words to Chandler, the two of our friends can start the greatest love story and we can all start having babies. Like, oh my God, like Monica, chill out like a second.
Yeah, but I really love Phoebe's reaction. Is it Chandler? It's Joey. It's like, on one hand, mother, may I? But no. And this is where I really do appreciate Phoebe's reaction here. I feel like right away is like, no, this is not something
and
we can do.
I think this was well written in to provide the alternate perspective of what many fans are expecting from Rachel, which is, no, you can't do that.
Right. Like, she gets it because she loves Joey, and finds him attractive, but it's like, no, their friendship is just way too important. And I think that's really, I agree. That's the reaction that the fans want to hear.
Well, some fans.
Yeah, I'm
there
sure
are plenty of people
out there.
There are plenty of people out there that are like, they should have just had Joey and Rachel get together. Now, those people are vocal minority. They are the minority by quite a bit, I believe. But there are people out there that will bang that drum, and that's fine. You are welcome to bang that drum all you'd like to. But if anything, I feel like Joey and Phoebe I could have seen, but that just would have been too weird to have all of them paired off 2 by 2. I don't like that. That is the problem. If you had hooked up Joey and Phoebe at the end, you then pair off these 6 friends into 3 couples, and that seems like it flies in the face of Friends.
It almost feels forced at that point. Like, it's okay, guys. Like, yeah. So we don't like that. And we have Phoebe confronting Joey, which I guess to your point earlier with how Phoebe just gets right to the point, I appreciated this. I love this from Phoebe, her just going to him and saying she knows about his feelings. But I love this because Joey assumes, obviously, she's figured it out about Rachel. But no, she thinks it's her, but Joey doesn't know that she thinks it's her. It's a classic Friends moment. And Joey just outright saying, for God's sakes, it's Rachel. Phoebe's like, for God's sakes, it's Rachel.
Yeah, to Phoebe's credit, she hung in on that conversation like a champ. Like, going into it thinking that you're the one with the, control in this conversation, and you're going to be the one, letting somebody down, only to be, shocked by kind of being let down yourself, that
I know
it's not you. And at the same time, she can't be that disappointed. She doesn't want it to be her. But at the same time, you don't, there's some ego involved here,
in
right?
The group. If it's going to be someone in the group, why isn't it me, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and but I also just appreciate Phoebe's advice here. Well, just sort of her comments, I guess, saying, well, I'm sure it's just a crush because, it doesn't mean you're in love with her. This is she's just been living with you. You guys have been spending all this time together. You already have a close friendship. It's almost like, it's just a crush.
Yeah, right? I'm Joey. I don't have deep feelings.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
but this doesn't really stick for long though, because by the end of the episode, he's like, he sees her and in his mind, he's saying, I love you. So,
that's it. Yeah. Does not stick at all because, well, what is it? We have Phoebe going in to Monica and Chandler's again. And what is it? Chandler's now in the bath. Monica's in there.
This is the moment.
Chandler's now walking into the bathroom. I'm sorry. Phoebe's walking into the bathroom to complain that they gave poor information. Joey then shows up only for Monica to finally put it all together correctly. And then Ross and Rachel show up just to announce that they are in fact having a girl, to which everybody is hugging except for Chandler, who's laying in a bath that he stole from Monica.
Yes. Yeah. That's... And I do like that moment where they're all in the bathroom. And I have to say, wow, this bathroom is a lot bigger than it ever looked in any other scene, right? Because you have this panned out view of the bathroom from behind the bathtub, which is a land that doesn't actually exist. Or not a land, but
no, that's
space.
Where the camera is located is not physically possible. I always think when it comes to that scene and getting everybody in there about the scene that they did with Rachel and Phoebe, and they find the pregnancy test.
Yes.
And if you're going to you're going to show me that angle of the bathroom and then show me this shot and tell me the 5 of them can like hug in a circle outside the I just don't think that that's the same bathroom.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. But listen, I will suspend my disbelief for that moment.
I suppose it's okay.
It's all right. We'll let it slide.
Well, now we're going to jump into season 8, episode 14, which is the one with the secret closet. And in this one, we do have Chandler being obsessed with opening this closet door that's at the end of the hall, which everyone probably who's watched Friends has stared at for 8 seasons, never seeing open. And I think they did a decent job of saying like, hey, what's behind that door? Let's see. Yeah. And they made it a whole plot device, which is fun. We also have Phoebe and Monica in this very awkward massage situation where Monica's been sneaking massages from somebody else, and there's a good reason for it. And then we have Joey and the living arrangement with Rachel and with Ross getting involved. And let's pick it up here since we're kind of leaving off with, the whole Joey and Phoebe conversation. This is where we kind of have this moment where Rachel is feeling the baby kick. And so she has Joey, feel the baby kick because it's like the first time and everybody's excited, but Ross misses out. And then Rachel is having Braxton Hicks contractions and Joey's like, that's all right, we'll get to the hospital, no problem. And he gets her in the car and gets her to the hospital, and they call Ross and he's late, and the doctor is assuming that Joey is the father since he's the one who brought her in, and telling him how good a dad he's going to be because he did the right thing. And this is all just killing Ross
and Joey. I feel like he's kind of like, well, I'm never going to be able to move on from these feelings if I just continue to be the one who's front and center in all of this that's happening with the baby. Like, how am I supposed to really move past this? Now I feel like he just is falling even more so. And the more he's, trying to convince himself it's just a crush, I think the more that it's really turning into, well, I'm really in love with her, right? And I'm around for all of these very intense moments of Rachel's pregnancy. And so I think while there's a part of it that's selfless, thinking back to the selfless good deeds that Phoebe and Joey had the back and forth about, right? So as much as it is selfless, I think it also is like, I need her to move out for my own well-being, right? Because I'm never going to be able to move on from this.
Rachel, so we get to this point where, the 3 of them are sitting around and Joey is the one who makes the suggestion, which is like a sacrifice in his own regard, to have Rachel move out so she can move in with Ross, because it just makes the most sense. And and she's like, I don't think he wants me to move in. And of course Ross is desperate for her to move in because he does want to be there for all these things. And it is definitely a sacrifice on Joey's part, but one that is probably necessary, and it probably helps him move on a little bit, or at least attempt to move on a little bit, where Rachel really just needs someone to help her out. And Ross is the father of the baby and desperately wants to be the one helping out. And Joey doesn't mind doing it, but like, I think he knows that if we're going to like set this all straight, this is the move that has to be made.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. And Eric, I would feel bad for Mona in this episode because we have multiple mentions of her name where it's like, oh my God, Ross has forgotten about Mona at the movie theater.
Twice.
And then at the
Twice he left her somewhere on her own to come see Rachel.
I feel bad for her, but listen, again, Mona, I would love to have seen how this played out on the Mona end where Ross is trying to explain what happened here, and she's just okay with it. Girl, come on. Get some self-confidence, Mona.
It's at this point that you would expect there to be like Ross has run out of strikes here with Mona 15 times over.
Meanwhile, you had the episode with Ross with the girl with the black light, and that one scenario with his teeth was enough for her to say, "You're crazy, get out of my apartment." And then you have Mona on the opposite end of the spectrum who's just letting things roll over and over. I think there's a happy medium there, right?
There is a happy medium there.
Black
the teeth
girl,
is like Black Light Girl was insane. She's never married because she's not looking for any of this stuff. Not that you have to be, but like, you know, the idea that they're both dating and looking for somebody. You're never going to be with anybody if you're going to like rule out teeth under a black light. Okay. Yes. Like, let's just get over that.
Yes.
Second, the idea of Mona making it past Dr. Green showing up and screaming at her and Ross.
Right.
And this is when she learns that Ross is having a kid with Rachel, who
and then the key situation, the changing of the lock.
Listen, there's a world in which the Dr. Green scene, Mona says, "Listen, there's a lot going on here, but I'm willing to at least hear you out." Mm-hmm. The changing of the lock, that's it. What are we talking about? You gave me a key to your apartment and then you changed the locks?
Yeah.
Like, what? That doesn't even feel like a Ross move. Like, I wouldn't even do that if I was, like, you can't do that.
No.
What is the outcome of that? Anyway, I'm getting distracted.
Yeah, No, it's true though. What is the outcome? How are you possibly going to stay in that relationship? How did they even work past that? They don't talk about it. It's because you just have to have the comedy, I guess, that ensues, because now we have, Rachel is now going to be moving back in or just in with Ross because she hasn't lived there before. So she's going to be moving in with Ross. And of course, Ross is not going to be explaining this directly to Mona.
Why would he? He hasn't explained anything. He hasn't explained anything to her the whole time. Why would he start now? Like,
why would he?
That's just not going to happen. So,
this is wild. Yeah,
we're left here with Ross having Rachel move in, which he wants more than anything in the world at this point. Mm-hmm. Far more than being with Mona. Lord knows he's ruined that relationship 15 times.
Yeah, Ross, you might want to dig deep on why you want Rachel to move in with you so badly here. Like, really think about that, because I'm pretty sure that if two people were just having a baby together and they just realized, we are not going to be good in a relationship, this is just us co-parenting going forward, there is no world that man would just want the mother of his baby to be moving in with him. Right? Like, no! Eric, give me the man's perspective here, right?
Listen,
this is not a thing. Unless you had hopes for the future together, you're not having this person move in with you.
Fortunately, I've never been in that situation. So I can't tell you what my exact instinct would be in that scenario. But I will say, in general, the idea of forcing a relationship that doesn't exist is not a good decision, in my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. Like, if you find out that you and somebody else are having a baby and your immediate next step, like Ross attempted, was, I know, let's get married. You're just doubling down on issues.
Yes, right.
Okay, don't force that. You don't need to force it. Is like largely acceptable in today's society.
Right. Yeah.
The only thing I would say as someone who works in an area where I deal with a lot of kids who come from divorced households. Yeah. The only thing I would say in this scenario is, or advice I would give to any parents, is put your feelings about that other person aside. You have to work together at least somewhat cohesively. In situations in which that happens, kids are, great. They seem very well adjusted. Everything works out. When you try to bait the kid, be like, listen, so-and-so is a terrible parent, and you down talk the other parent in front of your kids, or whenever they're with you, you're buying them presents and you're always trying to be the fun parent. That's when it starts going sideways, because now you've got parents at ends with each other, and the kid, they're smart enough. Trust me, they start figuring out, I know, I'll just play both sides against each other to get all the things I want. And that is not the avenue that you want for long-term success.
No.
So that's the one thing that I would always say is find a way to at least be reasonable with the person that you're with. Now, I know that is far easier said than done.
Right.
But that is the best for the child.
And Ross and Rachel are nowhere even near that situation.
They're not in this galaxy at all. But you're asking me real world, what's the situation? Am I forcing a move in? Am I forcing?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. But this is where the best answer was that Rachel should have taken the apartment from the Dutch lady 9 episodes ago.
That would have been the solution, and it just would have made for a lot less tension, which is probably why they decided not to do that. But the idea that Rachel didn't even just jump on that apartment is wild. It's but having
let's live in that world.
Co-parenting relationship with someone that is living in your space then, and you're not actually together, just seems like a recipe for disaster.
It does.
I mean, this is
now
not,
let's
this is not
let's
great.
just take a quick tangent here. That's what we do.
Yes.
If that had been the case, if she had just taken the apartment, right? What do we sacrifice from that? Well, we lose all of this Joey and Rachel stuff. That goes right out the window. And there are probably a lot of people who are like, I'm on board with that. So what do you gain from that? I think if you put Rachel in that apartment, not only do you get Ross stopping by a whole lot to check on the baby and stuff, you also get to see a Rachel rebooted to season 1. We learn the way I would write it is we learn that, hey, Monica did everything. And Rachel just lived in Monica's apartment. Now Rachel,
to Joey. Yeah.
Now Rachel has to do everything. She's got to figure out how to do laundry again and how to cook a meal and things like that. That would be things that you could do. You could have run that storyline of her failing at that over and over again, and I think it would have been funny.
Yeah,
you also would have unlocked a new setting, a new place for them to go.
Well, I agree. I mean, we don't really see Phoebe's place a whole lot either. So maybe it was just the simple fact that they didn't want to introduce a new apartment or explain why they didn't really show someone else's apartment very often. You know what I mean?
When it comes down to it, there's also, logistics. I'm sure, the logistics of it all saying, listen, we don't have the space to make this, although I know they were on a giant set. They may not have had the space to create this set. They also, it may have cost too much to may build it up and tear it down all the time. I don't know. But I feel there could have been an avenue there to create another setting and have a different storyline, although it would be kind of rebooted from the beginning of the season. I don't know.
I know.
But then you get rid of all the Joey Rachel stuff, and maybe the Joey Rachel stuff is too good to not have.
I'm kind of a little bit scared of the things that we're going to be seeing in the future with AI, because like, imagine all the alternate endings that are just going to be created, right? Like, someone's going to think of, like we're just talking about right now, this plot line that never existed within Friends. You know that someone's going to be feeding this into it, and it's like, hey, create alternate seasons that never really happened in Friends where Rachel had her own apartment. You know what I mean? I could just see this playing out. This is going to be a real thing. I guarantee it. Right? Fan fiction.
Sure. I mean, it's just going to be like
a matter of
way,
fact,
like way upgraded fan fiction for sure.
Oh yeah, like this is going to be a reality, for sure. But Eric, so should we jump into the Chandler and the secret closet plotline? Is that the one we're talking about?
I don't think that takes too long. Okay. We as I mentioned, there's the closet at the end of the hall that I think most viewers of Friends have stared at for a long time going, what's in that thing anyway? Like, where's that door even go? And we find out officially it's a closet. And Chandler doesn't have the keys to get into it, and he can't get in. And Monica isn't going to give it to him. So he's trying to find his way into it. I personally love the little sequence here with Chandler and Joey. Again, they still, despite saying that they were going to, have their time together, we still don't see them a lot together on their own. And this was kind of a glimpse into that, where Joey's giving ideas like, well, maybe it's Richard. Maybe she's having her cake and eating it too. You being the cake and Richard being the two.
Wow.
But then it's one of those things where I do like Joey asked Chandler, hey, do you have a bobby pin? He's like, oh, wait, no, I'm not a 9-year-old girl. And then Joey comes back with the whole, well, why do you throw like one? And then the bouncing back and forth of jokes between these two also was fun to see. Only for Chandler to walk into the bathroom, find a bobby pin, bring it back out, and Joey to be like, well, you found that awfully fast, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I love the back and forth with Joey and Chandler as well. And I think my favorite part, as you said, was when Joey suggested that Richard was behind the door. But Eric, I gotta say, you know what this made me think of, though? Another How I Met Your Mother episode where they turned it into something very different, obviously, but they have the door that no one knows what's back there.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
However, that is very different, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because in that episode, that door is like aligned with the camera. That door doesn't exist.
No, right. We never see it.
That door does not exist until they decide, oh, we need to create a door that nobody can go through. Like, that's not a thing. This door has been there for 8 seasons.
Yes.
So I feel like there was a little bit more mystery. Like, is it another room? Is it a staircase? Like, what is behind that door? Like, nobody had any idea, and they never mentioned it, and it was just there, and they never opened it. So what's back there? The door in How I Met Your Mother is never in sight ever. Not one time. Mm-mm. I think there are a couple of times where they shoot the camera the other direction, and that door still is not there until they need that door to be there. So yeah, I'm not. I hear what you're saying. There's a door that people can't get behind. Okay, that's about as far as that goes.
Hey, yeah. Well, Chandler finally does get into this door, and it is pure chaos. It is Monica's junk drawer, essentially, within a closet. And it is a lot, but still, she doesn't want Chandler to add his mess to her mess.
No, just ruin it.
Now you know it. I'm sick.
Now, listen, I was trying to look at that once the door was open.
Right?
Is that like a just like a sheet with all of that drawn on it?
No, it was real. It was.
You think they actually there was depth there? Because I didn't feel like there was from one angle. I'm looking at that going, is that just like a messy closet, like shower curtain that they just pulled down?
I don't think so. I feel like there really was. It probably wasn't as deep as it made it look, right? Like they just kind of stuck stuff in the front, but I think there was like a real a ball and some but
I don't know that you could have actually pulled that ball out.
I think so. I think it's real. I don't think they just went to the trouble of creating some digital image of a messy door, especially back then. I don't think that was
So did you ever watch Suits? Do you know that show?
I've seen it. I know of the show, but no, I never really watched it.
Okay, I bring this up only because there was a behind the scenes that fans got so mad at. And so many of these episodes took place in this law office, right? And Harvey, one of the lawyers, would have this big fancy office with all these things, and he had all these big windows, and New York City was outside and whatever. And then they would go over to Mike's office, and his office was the same with all this stuff. And the behind the scenes was being done by the character Donna, and she's walking around. She's like, "Hey, people hate when I do this, but I'm going to show you." And she brought the camera behind the office, and the whole New York skyline is just like a shower curtain. They just pulled across. Yeah, we're not there. And they're like, no, why would you do that? Don't tell me that.
Don't do that.
But it's all there. So next time anybody's watching that, if you haven't seen that, there you go. Just so you know, it's this
the Back to
giant
the Future. Yeah. It's like in Back to the Future where they have the shades in the future that look like you're on a tropical island or whatever scenery you want to be in. Yeah. You don't show the audience that. Then you can never unsee that, right?
You can't unsee it now. I've watched it, but I've watched it since, and I'm like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I like that we now know that Monica has a messy closet. Listen, it makes sense. And that adds even more square footage to this already massive Manhattan apartment. So there you go.
Not much, but a little bit.
No, right.
I mean, if it had been a staircase, now it's oh, you've unlocked this downstairs room in this apartment? What's down the stairs? That's what I would have, well, who knows? But, needless to say, we have the messy apartment. We have the Monica's messy closet, I suppose. She's allowed to have one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have to talk about Phoebe and Monica here.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with this.
I know. Well, it's just fascinating that apparently Monica's been getting massages from this other person for over 3 years, we find out.
Right.
And Phoebe just does not know. And I mean, I guess this is a little bit confusing because I thought that Phoebe already, didn't we establish in an earlier episode that Phoebe was giving massages to Monica? In the one where Monica gave horrible massages, I thought that they established that.
No, I was thinking about that too. I think the idea is that everybody else had reasons why Monica couldn't give them massages.
Right.
But I don't know that anybody had established that they got massages from Phoebe.
From Phoebe? Okay. All right. Well,
you'd think that they would.
Right? Yeah, but apparently not. And she doesn't really say, I guess she just felt weird about asking Phoebe for a massage, which I don't know. That whole thing just seems weird. Why would you feel weird about it? I don't know. I mean, it turns out with good reason, but.
Yeah. Are you a massage person?
I've had massages, but the ones that
You're a bath person, we've established, so I'm just asking.
Yes. No, definitely a bath person. I've had professional massages, but I've the ones that I've had, I always am kind of like, oh, that was nice, but was it worth it? Like, did I feel like it was like, I always wanted to be like even more deep tissue. Like, I feel like I'm like, I don't know, if I'm gonna get a professional massage, I'd rather like really feel like that was like life changing, and I feel like I haven't had that moment yet. So
okay,
I have
a friend. No, I've never had one, but I have a friend that gets them all the time, and he tells me, he's like, dude, you're missing out. You need to try this. Blah blah blah.
A good massage therapist then, because
apparently so.
Yeah,
and he has continually said this, and so I bring this up only because I had just said you'd think all of them would have gotten massages from Phoebe, but yet I don't know that they would. I don't know that I would go to my friend and get a massage.
Yeah, right. I that's true, Eric, because I sort of do understand what Monica's saying here is like, it just seems, and also I would feel weird because it's like her profession, and it's like, so then are you paying your friend, or are they going to feel obligated to not charge you? Like what's happening there?
Yeah, in fact, I guess my point is, listen, Phoebe makes this whole big deal out of the fact that Monica should be going to her for massages. And then she learns very quickly that, oh, Monica's making like sex noises while she's getting massaged. And I don't like this.
Yeah.
And so, listen, in the whole, Phoebe like does her best to like steer herself into the skid and then realizes, okay, this is not a thing. We're not doing this. I'm never going to see you again. I'll see you.
We're parting ways
in a month. Fair enough. But I think if I was Phoebe, I wouldn't have felt like, yeah, I want to massage all my friends either.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like though the issue that I have with this storyline is that Monica is always the one who is very aware and into social etiquette around every scenario, and you just know you're not moaning and like saying the other person's name, like the massage therapist. She's like, oh God, Phoebe. It's like, no, you don't do that during a massage.
That Monica seems so out of character for Monica. Out of
character. Yeah, this is not a thing, Monica. And I'm also thinking, wow, this Alexandra, who's been her massage therapist, wow, that she's dealing with a lot there, because I don't think any massage therapist is wanting this situation. This feels violating, right?
I thought maybe she's got like some headphones that she's rocking out with. Like, I don't know what that situation's like.
Yeah.
But I mean,
maybe Phoebe's just that good. I don't know.
The other thing is, if Monica really wanted to keep this a secret from Phoebe, what do you like having at-home massages for? It's well established that anybody just walks through that door at any point in time.
Yeah, this makes no sense. That it must have been like maybe it was an off day for the massage therapist, because this could not have been going on for 3 years, where she has been flying under the radar, getting these massages at home. It's not a thing. This is not possible.
No, I can't imagine that it would be, but you never know. Well, now we're going to jump into our IMDb ratings segment of the podcast, where we talk about our ratings against your ratings as we find them on IMDb. And we're also going to bring up our favorite and least favorite characters from the episode. And before we do, just quick apologies to anybody. I have been like blowing my nose this whole podcast. So if any of that has come across on the mic,
oh God.
My bad. I'm sorry. I've got a whole pile of tissues in this trash can near me, and yeah, we're gonna take something
allergy
after
situation. This.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So that being said, let's start with this. Do you have a favorite or least favorite character?
Well, actually, I'm gonna go with.
Oh,
I surprised myself a little bit with my choice, because I feel like I haven't given Chandler enough props lately. And while he wasn't front and center in either of these episodes, I really liked what we saw from Chandler. I liked The bath sequence, wow. I appreciated Chandler discovering the bath, loving the bath, and somehow everyone coming around Chandler within the bath, and also like breaking into the secret closet and that whole, even though it wasn't the central part of either episode, I just really liked his moments here, and I liked Joey and Chandler having their moments again, and he was my favorite here. How about you, Eric?
So I'm going to start just with, I don't know that anybody was so amazing over these, but I also don't think anybody was so terrible. So there wasn't like a standout in either direction. So I'm really, with all 6 of them, kind of in a similar spot. When it comes to favorite, I'm going to double down from the last podcast, and I'm going to say it's Rachel again. And I don't pick Rachel a ton. But I feel like my favorite sequence of these was the Rachel and Ross name discussion with Sandrine and Rain and Darwin and Thatcher and Ruth. My second favorite sequence of this whole thing might have been Joey sending Rachel to Ross's. Like, I think those things might have been my favorite things. So Rachel kind of stands out in all of those sequences, so I'm going to go with her. When it comes to my least favorite, I'm going to put Monica. And I will say that in the first episode, I liked what Monica did. I thought the whole, like, figuring out that it was Phoebe and then immediately running to tell her and then being wrong about the whole thing was funny. It's going to be the massage thing that I'm just like, this is not funny this is not my humor. So that's the thing that kind of knocks her down a little. But like I said, all 6 of them were pretty much in the same ballpark in these 2 episodes.
I went with Ross for my least favorite because Ross.
Whoa!
Oh, just let Mona go, buddy. Oh my God, poor Mona. My God,
poor Mona.
Oh, he just forgets about her everywhere. He's running around. He's getting all like tangled up about the wrong stuff. I don't know. It's not great for Ross. Ross, figure it out, buddy. Figure it out.
Okay. So now I have to ask you, because you started this whole podcast with being curious as to where IMDb's ratings are on these 2, where the people have rated them. So where do you stand on the ratings?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like have this like major issue with either of these, but these are not episodes that I just return to and rewatch really at all. But the one that rises slightly above is definitely the one where Chandler takes a bath. I feel like for me, that one is the better of the 2 because I love the whole
Before you go any farther,
yes,
I fully agree with that statement.
Yeah, okay.
I will second that whole thing. That one is the better one, not by a lot, but it is the better one.
Yeah. So I gave the one where Chandler takes a bath an 8, and I gave the one with the secret closet a 7.9. Nothing offensive, but these really aren't ones that I will like rewatch. I still do find funny moments in both of them. But again, also, I've talked about this before with certain Friends episodes. You almost feel like they could be almost moved in. Although I guess with the Joey Rachel plotline, they do have to be in this sequence only for that reason. But if it wasn't for that thread in these episodes, those other plot lines really could have been moved around throughout the season in other places, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Is that making any sense? I don't know if that's coming
Yes.
across. Yeah.
And here's what I'll say. I fully second everything that you were saying. Like, these are fine Friends episodes. There wasn't anything wildly wrong with them. But they are certainly not like a typical Friends episode, nor are they like standout episodes by any stretch of the imagination. My ratings are very similar to yours. I gave the one where Chandler takes a bath a little bit more. I gave it an 8.2. But I also landed on 7.9 with The Secret Closet. And I do that because I feel like Monica was not true to character in that episode very much. And so there wasn't a lot from that episode that really pulled me out of that. So it's where I'm going to leave it. I won't be shocked if the people are harder on that episode. But we're going to pull it up.
I'm very curious to see how these ratings fall.
Let's see. Okay. You know what? We're actually a little harder than the people.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the better of the two is definitely what we said. It is the one where Chandler takes a bath.
Yep.
But the people have given that an 8.4.
Wow. Okay.
So IMDb gives that an 8.4. You gave it an 8. I gave it an 8.2. When it comes to the one where Chandler takes a bath, I gave it a 7.9.
No,
you gave it a 7.9.
The one with the secret closet.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading poorly. Yes. The one with the secret closet. I gave it a 7.9. You gave it a 7.9. The people on IMDb gave that one an 8 flat.
Okay,
so we're all like we're exactly the same there within, rounding errors. So yeah, I'd call that a wash. But the one where Chandler takes a bath, people were higher on that than I expected.
It's true because what was the one recently, Eric? I don't have the ratings up, but what was the other Friends episode where we gave it like a really good score? I'm trying to pull up the ratings really quick. And it was like the people were in the 7s. Oh, the one with Ross's
That was
Step
the one
Forward.
with Ross's. Yes. The one with Ross's Step Forward. You and I were both in the mid 8s. They gave it a 7.8. That one I don't understand. But then the one where Joey dates Rachel, they gave that an 8.4. And you had an 8, and I had an 8.2. So the last two episodes.
Yeah.
No. Well, it's funny because aside from The Secret Closet, the previous two, the one where Joey dates Rachel and the one where Chandler takes a bath, we have gone exactly the same. You gave an 8, I gave an 8.2, the people gave an 8.4. Both times.
Yeah.
That definitely has not happened where we've had the exact same ratings twice in a row, all three of us.
Yeah. And maybe it's still the tension of like, there's this secret about Joey has this secret crush and now the gang is finding out. I think that whole situation people tend to like with Friends, right? Like when there's a thing that other people don't know and it's a reveal and there's, The thing about the one where Chandler takes a bath, which I'll talk more about since that was this podcast. That one, when it comes to like a rating standpoint, like I said, we both agreed it was the better of the two. When you break down the storylines, you have the whole like Joey starting with, we didn't even talk about it. He's starting with the cereal and, being like, oh, I must have been cuckoo, and that whole thing, which I feel like is a very, popular opening scene. And then we have the inner monologue.
Yes, we have the inner monologue with Joey. We have my favorite, which is the Ross and Rachel with the names and, finding out the sex of the baby, Phoebe or Phoebo, all of that. That to me is my favorite storyline of the two episodes. But, Joey having the whole secret come out and then having to like try to put the lid on it again, and Phoebe and Monica and Chandler are now all in on it. Like, I feel like that is something that is well liked in the Friends community.
Absolutely. It happens with all different plot lines. I think whenever there's just confusion and then they're figuring it out, they assume one thing, they're wrong. They're all like kind of like scheming behind the scenes with each other. Yeah, it's just a classic Friends trope. And they can just really apply it to any scenario, and it's gonna get likes. Well, I guess not likes. People didn't say that then when this was coming out, but
that wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah, but people liked it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So
people gave thumbs ups in their living room while they were staring at a TV.
That's
and
right.
Nobody could see it.
They high-fived
or you
each
got
other.
one of those. What was it? You got those like ratings books where you could like send in the
Siskel and
ratings
Ebert?
somehow.
No, that was movies.
No. Oh no. There was the Nielsen ratings.
You mean
no?
People could rate at home and like what, mail it in?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
Pretty sure we got one of those ones.
That's
in fact, I guarantee you we got one of those ones.
Mail-in ratings system in
the Nielsen
90s?
ratings.
Oh.
There was a thing.
Yes, Nielsen diaries. Okay.
Not wrong.
Wow. We're going back.
Anywho, where it wasn't. When you were rating TV shows on pencil and paper and sending it in so your thoughts could be heard, like, you know. This is the world we lived in.
Yikes. Well, we've gone beyond that.
The more you know. Well, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please check out our socials on Instagram, YouTube, and all the other social platforms you can find us on. Leave us a thumbs up, like not from the Nielsen ratings, like an actual one. You can just click on the button. It's a lot easier today. You can subscribe, you can share, you can repost, do all the stuff that you love to do on social media. We really appreciate it. Leave a comment. We'll respond. Again, we really appreciate the support we are seeing there so far, but you can also give us a 5-star rating on our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast player is. And do not forget that we have a Patreon that you can find us on at We Run on Reruns, where if you like to listen to your podcast there, it's for free. You can just go on to Patreon and listen to our podcast there if that's more your style of listener. For Amanda, this is Eric. Enjoy watching Friends Season 8, Episode 15 and 16. That is the one with the birthing video and the one where Joey tells Rachel. Happy rerunning, everybody.
See you later, guys.